It's a regular school day, and boom, Kang Han-soo and his classmates get yanked out of their boring lessons and dropped into a full-on fantasy world. A spirit shows up, laying out a crazy deal. Summon spirits, fight the demon lord and his monster army, and save the world. The pitch? You get superpowers, save thousands of lives, and a one-way ticket home once the demon lord's down. Everyone's hyped, ready to play hero, except Kang Han-soo. This guy's not buying it. He straight up tells the spirit he just wants to go home, no hero gig for him. I love how Kang's just like, nah, I'm out. Talk about sticking to your guns. The spirit's shocked, but lets him bounce, even asking if anyone else with a weak heart wants to tag along. Kang's got no buddies in class, so nobody joins him. He steps through a portal, thinking he's headed home, but plot twist, it dumps him in some random wilderness. What would you do if you thought you were safe, then ended up in Monster Central? Things get nuts fast. Kang spots these creepy rabbit-like humanoid beasts. Think Evil Thumper from Bambi, enslaving an elf woman. Their vibes are straight up sinister, and Kang freezes, knowing he's in deep trouble. Honestly, this scene had me stressed. Imagine being alone, no powers, and facing that. He does the smart thing, bolts like his life depends on it, because, well, it does. Run, Kang, run. Meanwhile, the rest of the class lands in a fancy temple in a city called Pregonia. Saint Test, this big-shot holy figure, welcomes them as heroes from another dimension. Other spirits are chilling there too, adding to the epic vibe. She drops some lore everyone's been waiting for and introduces Prince Alchus, the kingdom's swordmaster and total heartthrob. The girls in the class lose it over his looks. Classic isekai move, right? Then Saint Tess brings up the princess, who stumbles in late, admitting she overslept after drinking too much. Saint Tess calls her honesty a strength and a flaw, urging her to zip it. Suddenly, Princess Athena faints, and the heroes are shook. Some can't stop gushing over her beauty. Okay, calm down, guys. Athena is introduced as the arch-measuring princess and their magic instructor, with Prince Alchus handling swordsmanship. This duo's set to guide the heroes, and I'm already curious who's going to shine under their training. Back at the temple, Hanwoo is geeking out over his status window, sharing with the group that leveling up and mastering skills means facing tougher challenges. He's obsessed with his hero blessing, which auto-translates languages. Pretty OP, like a built-in cheat code. But he's bummed because others got similar blessings, so he's not that special. Choi asks Kangmin why the spirit mentioned earning spirit blessings. She explains you gotta win a spirit's favor, and each one's got its own standards. Out of nowhere, everyone gets a creepy notification. A spirit's eyeing their bodies with a smile. Super weird, right? Saint Test says spirits are picky, but all hunting for the hero who'll take down the demon lord. She warns they're always watching though, but they won't stick around forever, and wishes everyone luck. A student asks if anyone can snag a blessing, but Saint Test smirks, saying spirits don't waste time on trash. Ouch, harsh much? The heroes feel uneasy, but their fantasy adventure's kicking off, full of hope and dreams. What do you think it'd be like to have spirits judging your every move? On the flip side, Kang's running for his life from monsters hot on his trail. He's exhausted, stops to catch his breath, and wham, an arrow flies past. The monsters are closing in, ready to chow down. Kang's like, these things don't exist on Earth. He's convinced the spirit tricked him, never planning to send him home. He bolts again, telling himself if this is a fantasy world, there's gotta be a miracle. His status window pops up, but under curses, not blessings. Why is hero listed as a curse? He suspects it's a sneaky way to kill him off. Spotting the auto-translation feature, he yells at the monsters to talk it out. They scream back, shocked to humans speaking their language. Kang pleads he's just trying to get home to his parents, begging for mercy. Then, an arrow hits his leg. But fairies swoop in, firing at the monsters. Kang sees the fantasy battle erupt and uses the chaos to escape. In pain, he swears off, trusting spirits. A notification says a spirit's watching him, but he's done begging. Rather die than ask for help. Then a special spirit contacts him, and he's confused, pleading to escape. His body's moving faster than his brain, reacting to this new voice. The spirit asks why he's alone. Kang hesitates, knowing he can't spill the truth. Maybe it's the same spirit or a friend. Frustrated, he begs for help and wonders if another spirit would step in. The spirit's suspicious, saying other spirits aren't likely here, and maybe that's for the best.
In agony, Kang asks if this spirit's an outsider. When it doesn't get the term, he explains it's like a lone wolf roaming the woods. The spirit loves that vibe. Relieved, Kang begs for help again. After a pause, it asks if he's truly an outsider. Kang lies, saying, yeah, his classmates went to the temple while he got stuck alone. The spirit finds it odd, but decides to help this poor outsider. Using its power, it magically yanks the arrow out and heals his leg. Kang's pain vanishes, his body feels light, and he thanks the spirit. His status updates to outsider blessing, blessing, but there's a catch. Something bad happens if the lone wolf leaves the forest. Confused, he asks if he'll lose it by joining others. The spirit insists it only helps outsiders. I'm digging this mysterious spirit. Friend or trap? What's your take? The monsters spot Kang again, and he's off running, feeling the outsider blessing kick in. His fatigue's gone, and he's fresh while the monsters tire out, failing to keep up. One chucks a stone, but it misses. Kang secretly thanks the spirit, feeling unstoppable. The spirit assures him a stone won't kill him. He reaches a cliff edge, realizing the blessing resets everything but death. Unless it's fatal, he's golden. Nervously, he asks the spirit if he'd survive the fall. It says it's risky from that height. Panic sets in as the monsters close in. Cliff ahead, beast behind. Kang yells a wild deal. He knows they're hungry, but there's not enough of him to go around, so whoever catches him first gets his tasty meat. The monsters go nuts, charging. Kang smirks, thinking they're insane, and jumps off the cliff, dragging some with him. He wakes up, body crushed but alive. A notification says the spirit's impressed by his survival. A monster approaches to eat him, but Kang checks its status. Blue Moon's butcher, no blessings. Grabbing a stone, he stabs and kills it. That moment was epic. Kang's out here turning the tables. Would you have jumped like that? Back at the temple, Saint Tess tells the heroes leveling up and earning blessings are key to getting stronger. Kill creatures with status windows for XP or score direct spirit blessings. Choi prays confidently for a strength boost. Saint Tess cuts in, reminding them spirits are always watching their actions. Ubora, looking upset, asks if that means constant surveillance. Saint Tess nods but clarifies spirits aren't human and don't care about stuff like showers. Some spirits chime in via status windows, assuring Ubora they're not into boring human moments. Suddenly, spirits spotlight Jang Mao, Ubora, praising her actions and granting her a blessing. She's glowing with joy, but everyone's curious what it does. Turns out it's charm, a power that makes her smell amazing to attract the opposite gender. Saint Tess quickly stops her from using it. Jang says she doesn't know how to turn it off, and an innocent spirit calls it dirty. Saint Tess sighs, saying it's too late. Jang's got to deal with the consequences. The heroes are shocked. Saint Test explains spirits can bless or curse heroes they don't like. Jang's horrified, unaware of the curse risk. As the curse hits, she screams in pain and apologizes. Saint Test says blessings and curses are permanent until death, growing stronger with rank, and levels never drop. Jang worries the curse could kill her at higher levels. Athena comforts her, saying blessings can counter curses, and as Jang levels up, the pain will ease. That curse twist is wild! Imagine getting a power-up that backfires like that. What would you do? Kang's in the woods, wondering why he hasn't leveled up despite killing monsters. Is it the curse or just a tough world? He asks the spirit for info, but it coldly insists he call it outsider. Annoyed but desperate, Kang asks again. The spirit just says yes, super unhelpful. Kang thinks spirits are useless beyond blessings, but clings to this one. He's not hungry, thirsty, or tired after hours of watering. Blessing perks, baby! Spotting monsters, he hides behind a tree, figuring this place is monster central, human-free. The spirit messages a helpless outsider dies peacefully if cut. Kang ponders, but stays cautious. The monsters smell blood but can't track him. Feeling energized with the butcher's knife, Kang plans his next move. The spirit prays for his survival, assuring no early death. Seeing vines, Kang gets them, feeling the spirit's blurry gaze. He pockets the knife and asks about centrifugal force. Tying a stone to a vine, he spins it like a slingshot. Monsters charge. He hurls it, nailing them with science. The blessing steadies his legs and breath. He realizes small cuts don't matter. The blessing auto-heals unless it's fatal. Fearless, he fights near death, taking out monsters one by one. But he notices their tactic, dragging out the fight to exhaust him. These creatures are smarter and dirtier than he thought. Still, he keeps going.
One sneaks behind, but Kang stones its heart, saying they'll get the same punishment. After a brutal fight, he wins, asking the last monster where humans live. It points unwillingly. Kang asks its species, taps. Without hesitation, he stones it dead, thinking he might have spared it if it was honest, but no promises were made. Kang's savage side is showing. Do you think he's turning into a survival machine? At the temple, Prince Alceste announces training starts tomorrow. He's on swordsmanship, Princess Athena on magic. Heroes can choose their path freely. Choi wants both sessions, but Alceste warns it's tough. Hanwoo asks to skip training, and Alceste says it's their call. Hanwoo pushes for more freedom, like leaving the temple, and Alceste allows it. Next morning, Alceste gathers the heroes. Knights with him, mages wait for Athena. Heroes check their status windows. Hanwoo sees a note on his blessing. He's the chosen one, a unique perk only he can see. He's thrilled, thinking Choi's vain and clueless about true status power. Outside the temple, Hanwoo figures Choi'd be A rank at best, rivaling the main character. In a city plaza, Hanwoo feels like he's in the perfect spot for his fantasy story. Fighters are everywhere. A receptionist asks his purpose. He says money. A girl warns, this place isn't for newbies like him. Go home, she's seen boys die. Hanwoo thinks it's his chosen one buff at work. She asks if he's listening. He smiles, thinking she's a princess or noble, main character fate. He says he won't leave and invites her along, adding that judging by looks is bad. She smiles, caught off guard. Hanwoo's stoked, feeling special, hinting he's chosen, but can't say more. On Earth, he'd struggle to talk to a beauty like this, but in this world, he's got that hero swagger. Is he about to prove he's the real deal, or is this girl gonna steal his spotlight? What do you guys think? Meanwhile, Kang's deep in the woods, still fighting for his life. A tap, convinces him it's not lying and points west to a human village. Kang thanks it for the info, then bam, stones it dead without a second thought. Cold-blooded move, Kang. He muses that these taps seem truthful, unlike his expectations. He's got no clue how far the village is, but figures if enough taps point the same way, it's legit. Fighting them has turned into a hunt, and Kang's gone from prey to predator overnight. He's thrilled, even with deep wounds from the battles. The outsider blessing kept him sane, and his torn clothes are like badges of honor. He's hyped to finally meet some fantasy world humans in the village. This shift in Kang's vibe is wild. He's becoming a survival beast. Would you be this chill with scars all over? The spirit he's been chatting with isn't thrilled though, and complains that Kang's gotta ask for help properly. Kang snaps back, asking if it wants him dead. The spirit's like, I don't care what happens to you. Ouch, harsh. Suddenly, another tap attacks, but Kang's ready, slicing it with the butcher's knife. He's getting worried though. There's no end to these taps. No matter how many he kills, more keep coming. He's stabbing and fighting, but his level's stuck even after taking down high-level taps. He's frustrated, thinking he should have leveled up by now. A notification pops up. A spirit's getting restless, probably laughing at his struggle. After another brutal fight, Kang hears an unfamiliar language. He looks around and spots a guy fleeing a carnivorous plant, getting shot at with arrows. He figures the plant's aggression might have been triggered by his presence. Then he sees two humans, a swordsman and a woman, likely soldiers. The woman chucks a weapon at him the second she spots him. He yells he's just looking for the human village, hides his knife, and sits down, signaling surrender to show he's not about violence. He knows they can't understand each other, but body language is universal, right? He's hoping his friendly vibe will calm him down, but the woman's ready to arrow him again. Kang pleads that other worlders are dangerous and he's a good guy. The soldiers pause, holding off on the attack. Smart move or risky play, Kang? Soon, Kang's trekking through the forest with these folks. They try talking to him with serious faces, but their language is gibberish to him. He can at least share his name, but he's not catching a word they say.
Foreign languages tanked his GPA back home, so this tracks. He's relieved to find friendly humans who aren't shooting arrows like those fairies did, and the tap threat feels less intense with them around. He can't see their status windows, but bets these armed soldiers are way stronger than a level 1 like him. The spirit reminds Kang he's not acting like an outsider anymore, but he brushes it off. The spirit warns him not to get too casual with these strangers. Kang's like, it's normal to chat lightly when you meet people. He's stuck talking to spirits instead of humans, but through body language, he learns their names. There's Gary, the older guy and group leader, rocking a huge sword with 0 fatigue, dude la tank. Cole, the younger one, gives Kang a big hug, all smiles with dual swords at his waist. Then there's Misa, the archer with a massive steel crossbow, clearly not meant for human targets. She points into the distance and Kang spots smoke, not a wildfire, but chimney smoke. He's stoked, he's found a human settlement. A notification says the spirit's annoyed he's not acting like a lone wolf. Kang explains he's just pretending to tag along to get out of the forest. Suddenly, they hear taps approaching. Kang's ready to fight, but Gary, Cole, and Misa charge in first, slashing taps with swords while Misa nails one with her crossbow. A bigger tap lunges at Kang, but he saves it from another attack. The spirit's uncomfortable and Kang tells it to chill. Humans are social, he needs these allies. The spirit's like, not my problem. Another tap attacks, but Kang dodges and knifes it dead. He thanks the group, saying he'd be toast without them, but they just stare at him coldly. Out of nowhere, Misa fires an arrow into Kang's shoulder and he collapses. The soldiers surround his lifeless body. Cole praises Misa, saying that taps ruined their plan, but she pulled through. Misa admits she underestimated Kang, thought a skinny guy would be weak, but he fights better than expected, and his weird language complicates things. Gary suggests sticking to the original plan. Cole hesitates, thinking Kang might not agree to be sold into slavery. Gary's like, take what we can, steal his dagger. He points out its fancy design may be tied to fairy royalty, making it valuable. Cole approaches to grab it, but Kang's still gripping it tight. Misa warns Cole to stay sharp. Cole decides to finish Kang with his sword, but spots Kang's status window. Shocking, since you need permission or a special blessing to see it. Before he can react, Kang springs up and daggers him dead. Gary and Misa are stunned as Cole cold drops. Kang stands like nothing happened. Gary charges enraged, but Kang's too quick, taking him out with the dagger. Misa fires arrows, but they do nothing. Kang pulls them out, smiling fearlessly. Misa begs for her life, bowing in surrender. Kang says something, but she doesn't understand, and in a flash, he strikes. That twist was insane. Kang's a one-man army. Would you trust strangers in a world like this? Later, Kang's changing clothes, shaken by how wild it felt to use that dagger. He tells the spirit maybe it was okay, but killing Misa bugs him. The spirit laughs at his unease, saying it respects his weird outsider choices. Kang defends himself, saying he had no choice. Misa's clothes were the only ones that fit. He grabs her arrows, thinking they'll be useful later. Practical, but dark Kang. Back at the temple, Princess Athena apologizes for being late and kicks off her magic lesson. She explains magic is new to the Fantasia continent, sparking whispers among the students. Some call it nonsense, others say it's practical, like chemistry. Ubara snaps at them to focus. Athena seizes the moment, saying magic is all about talent and mental awareness. She hates pointless theories and insists talent rules supreme. The heroes are surprised and ask how to start. Athena explains natural talent, often tied to bloodlines, is key, but education and connections matter. She introduces herself as Athena Archmeasuring, a direct descendant of Zane Archmeasuring, the founder's 12th disciple and third husband, boasting both bloodline and connections. The heroes ask what this means for them. Athena says being her disciples connects them to her, unlocking high potential. Ubara asks if someone without bloodlines or connections can become a magician. Athena confirms it's possible, but she says her students have a huge edge. Excited, she approaches Ubara, saying details come later, but for now, Ubara's her first disciple. The room goes quiet. Ubara's shocked. Athena clarifies she's her first pupil, leaving Jang Mian and Cho Kang-min confused. Athena orders Ubara to become a magic elf, and Ubara freezes, unsure what's next. Athena congratulates her, declaring her a developmental magician. Ubara's rattled by the sudden change, but her status window updates with the new title.
Athena admits she forgot to mention early disciples get more talent transfer. Ubara notices a C-rank protege blessing her, and Athena explains that's the talent she meant. Ubara reads magician in her status, hesitates, and shares her worry. Without a parent or master with a magic blessing, can she ever be a true magician, no matter how hard she tries? Athena asks if she now gets why talent matters. Ubara nods. Athena, pleased, shows a glowing magic ball, explaining the founder, now a magic spirit, left a blessing for descendants and students to learn magic fast. Average magicians use this white magic for safe, efficient casting. The heroes are awed. Then, Athena shows her hands burning, one with blessed white magic, the other with unblessed black magic. The head maid storms in, scolding Athena for using black magic. Athena says it was to teach the hero. The maid threatens to tell the queen, and Athena apologizes. Prince Alcus rushes in, begging the maid to keep quiet. Ubara, scared, apologizes for her question. Athena recovers, happy the heroes get black magic's danger. Some ask if it's evil. She says no, it's just natural magic, unlike the founder's blessed white magic. That magic demo was fire, literally. What's cooler, white or black magic? Kang reaches Hanwoo village. Yep, same name as our hero temple, weird coincidence, and asks the guard if he needs dry wood for a fire. The guard's confused, but Kang hands over coins saying he gets it and strolls in. He notices armed folks everywhere, probably because of those carnivorous plants nearby. After a bath, he muses that money makes friends, even without a shared language. A spirit message says it's chin too, and Kang jokes it's weird to bathe while chatting with a spirit. He asks its gender. It says it's more and more. Kang decides it's male for honor's sake. The spirit gets nervous, and Kang asks why it's scared. It says it's a secret to keep hidden. Voices outside interrupt. Kang yells he's bathing, and someone replies they understand. He dresses fast, thinking he's found someone he can talk to, but outsider might mean an enemy race like taps or demons. As the door opens, Kang sits on the bed hiding his daggers and invites the visitor in. A young man enters saying he's the village chief, here to check on a report of a foreign-speaking traveler. Kang eyes him, noting he's young for a chief. The chief uses an observation blessing to see Kang's status window, making Kang uneasy. He says Kang tried to hide it, but it won't work against his blessing. Initially suspecting Kang as a disguised fairy, he now thinks he's from a distant land. He shares the village's beef with fairies. They lost homes to fairy greed, fled to the human realm, and many lost family. The village is a fort for revenge, packed with soldiers and low on complaints. The spirit's mad about Kang's situation, but the chief calls the villagers absurd, greenhorns seeking battle experience. As he leaves, he asks Kang about a potion from dinner, laced with sedatives, that didn't affect him. Kang pulls his dagger, suspicious. The chief's impressed, saying Kang's resistance to potions is fairy-like, but the spell's invisible rope can't be broken. He snatches the dagger, leaving Kang shocked. The spirit warns Kang, as the chief's intentions get clear. He's in deep trouble. Kang's now a captive. The chief, named Crimson, level 16, reveals the villagers hate taps, blaming them for family
losses. But the truth is, taps are victims too, pitted against humans by fairies who stole their land. Crimson calls himself a karma bearer, cursed with the fairy curse that shortens his life and youth for being their enemy. Kang wonders a spirit's curse like this. Crimson says it's a mark of honor from killing fairies. Kang denies hating or being a fairy, but Crimson, enraged, holds the dagger to his head. He changes his tune after seeing the dagger, asking where Kang got it. Kang lies, saying he shot a fairy with an arrow, suggesting they share an enemy. Crimson's impressed, saying Kang killed a royal fairy. His skills are wild. Kang didn't know it was royalty. Crimson smirks, saying Kang's a tough spot regardless. Kang begs for his life, but Crimson says it's a shame Kang saw his status window. He calls Kang a table without magic blessings, a lone wolf stuck in the forest forever. The spirit prays for Kang's next life as Crimson uses black magic to knock a woman down, his intentions dark. This cliffhanger's intense. Kang is trapped with a shady chief. What's Crimson's next move? We're back with Kang in the clutches of Crimson, the tap hybrid village chief, who's got some seriously dark plans. Crimson's got his foot on a woman's body, calling himself a dark table, who sacrifices others to extend his life. He smirks, explaining that even though the fairy curse is eating him alive, he can keep going by offering up others.
He tells Kang his sacrifice will be painless, a twisted reward for messing with fairy royalty. Kang, bold as ever, throws a sly grin and taunts that Crimson's pretty generous for an evil dude. Inside, Kang's thinking this guy's dirty personality might get him kicked out by the spirit, but it's not the worst. He can still talk his way through. He calls out to Crimson, asking if he's supposed to beg for his life. Kang flat out refuses. Crimson tells him to spit out his last words, harassing some captives and swiftly killing them with a magical rope. Kang goes quiet, fear creeping in. Crimson presses him to speak, but Kang's mind is racing. Crimson's acting weird, maybe posing as a justice seeker. Kang says it's been a tough journey where no one's recognized his efforts. Crimson smiles, saying he gets it. Kang doubles down, claiming it's because he's an outsider. Crimson nods, calling an outsider a lone wolf roaming the woods. Kang clocks that Crimson sees himself as one too, but the spirit whispers that Crimson's no outsider. Kang disagrees, feeling a weird connection. Crimson says he likes Kang and urges him to stay a lone wolf. Kang's thrown by this logic. First, Crimson's all about the greater good. Now he's ready to kill to keep his outsider cred. Kang's pissed and scared, stuck in a nightmare. Crimson calls it a happy day, finally finding someone who gets his mission. Crimson eyes some chained captives, telling a boy to come with him since he's in rough shape. The boy mutters something in another language, and Crimson says his mate can live to entertain him, sparing her. He drags the boy to a glowing black magic circle where the kid cries out for his mother, begging to trade his life for a fairy's. Crimson assures him surrender means reuniting with his meds soon, grabbing his hair and warning of consequences for resisting. Kang realizes Crimson's absorbing fairy lifespans to stay young. Crimson claims the spell worked, but Kang points out he doesn't look younger. Crimson admits he's not human and doesn't know how many fairies or travelers he's killed. Kang calls the fairy curse tragic. Crimson strips off his clothes, shocking Kang by revealing he's a tap. Kang's mind reels. Mixed race, maybe? Crimson brags about his dual race combo, fueled by deep fairy hatred, and says revenge is coming. He claims his dark magic is unmatched. Kang questions how he's hunting fairies with their own power. Crimson brushes it off, telling him not to sweat the small stuff, and starts lecturing about outsiders, revealing his true self. He grabs Kang, saying he'll forget him and use his life well. Kang taunts that Crimson's been a big help, asking if he's still getting killed. Crimson coldly says it's because Kang's an outsider. Kang's hit with a surge of anger, realizing he's facing a dangerous outsider. He sees this as a fate-changing moment. This scene's intense, Crimson's unhinged, and Kang's playing mind games to survive. Would you try to outtalk a psycho like Crimson? Back at the temple, Princess Athena, the arch-measuring genius, praises hard workers despite her royal status, saying talent means less effort for her. Ubora asks if magic comes from imagination and if there's no other way to boost it, having heard skills, bloodlines, and connections rule. Athena's impressed with Ubora's diligence, making her first disciple. She compliments her question, explaining better magic comes from following teachers or parents. She demos magic with mice, wowing the heroes. Athena believes her arch-measuring bloodline lets her use epic fire magic passed down through generations. She shows off an ice rabbit, her unique magic, and asks if anyone wants a shot. Everyone's eager, and Ubora steps up but fails. Athena says she's just adjusting and will nail it with practice. Ubora is grateful. Jang Mian asks if someone like her without a blessing can be chosen. Others shout for blessings, whining that Athena is unfair. Athena ponders, then asks who wants to be her second disciple. The heroes go wild begging for the spot, but her firm words spark a fight among them. She tells them to name their pick for second disciple. Ubora questions if this is deliberate, annoying Athena. Later, Athena wraps the lesson, saying unique magic like her ice rabbit comes from mistakes in practice. Ubora compares it to black magic, shocking Athena, who clarifies black magic is different from white. Ubora asks if practicing black magic alone is impossible. Athena, worried, says it demands a sacrifice every time. That's a scary price. Would you risk black magic knowing that? Kang's in Crimson's magic circle, freaking out about why this lunatic grabbed him. Crimson demands Kang surrender his life for the spell. Kang knows black magic needs consent even if he's tied up, and he's not giving it. Crimson says their talk's done. Declare surrender or else. Panicked, Kang asks to see Misa one last time before dying. Crimson's skeptical, asking why, and Kang claims she's his lover. Crimson reminds him Cole was Misa's lover, but Kang says Cole's her ex. Crimson demands proof, and Kang, quick on his feet, suggests Crimson smell his body for Misa's scent. Crimson sniffs and confirms it's Misa's, believing they're lovers. He muses that if Misa's gone, Gary and Cole would suspect something and start scheming. Kang secretly relieved, impressed by his own cunning. Crimson asks if he's got other wishes. Kang seizes the chance, asking to be free until he meets Misa, promising to surrender after. Crimson agrees, laughing dangerously. Suddenly, Kang's hit with agonizing pain, realizing Crimson's painless promise was a lie. Crimson says he'll tell Misa Kang left. Kang points out Misa's already gone, making it hard to explain. Crimson's caught off guard and Kang lunges, punching him dead in the face. Crimson rages and Kang accuses him of cheating, saying the pain nearly drove him mad and could turn allies into enemies. Crimson's stunned by Kang's guts. Kang smirks, promising to spill everything when he dies. The magic bond breaks, Kang's lifespan resets, and the circle dissolves. Crimson growls in frustration. Kang reminds him of their deal, survive, and he's free. Hoping Crimson honors it, Kang grabs the dagger, demanding he keep his word. He cuts a chained girl free, supporting her as she's weak from shock. Crimson stops them, but Kang reminds him of his earlier mercy. He knows Crimson didn't initially harm him, thinking a dead captive's useless. Crimson snaps that the deal's off unless Kang gives his lifespan. He unleashes demonic energy, grabbing Kang's leg with magic. Kang braces himself, unfazed. Crimson's disappointed, but Kang says hoping for a painless death was naive. Smiling fearlessly, he says it's too early to quit. Crimson laughs at his confidence, then starts bleeding from the mouth, his strength fading. Kang sees it. Since Crimson tried killing him with dark magic, his power's tanking. Crimson demands to know who Kang really is. Kang grins antagonistically, saying he's an outsider. As Crimson nears death, Kang feels a rush, knowing a level 16 kill means big XP. He plans his final escape, bidding Crimson goodbye, but the tapping Crimson curses Kang, vowing revenge to crush his dreams. Crimson charges, slashing Kang's chest with sharp nails. He laughs, saying it's not swordsmanship, but a hidden fairy hunting ability. Kang, calm, says it's bad luck, not lethal. His wounds heal fast thanks to the outsider blessing. Crimson, weakened, tries to flee, but the girl grabs his leg. He snarls at her to let go, but Kang appears, slicing off Crimson's head. Knowing it's not over, Kang strikes the tap within Crimson, making it scream and die. An unseen watcher mourns Crimson, but Kang's unfazed. He frees the captive fairies and calls the village for help. Once it's sorted, he bolts. A month later, Kang's back in the wilderness, dodging fairy attacks by jumping off another cliff. Kang's a survival legend at this point. How's he still kicking after all this? Back at the temple, a childish fight over Athena's disciple spot is brewing, but some major heroes step in, calming things down. Athena tells the heroes to visualize magic in their minds. Focus is everything. They practice fireballs, and a student asks if magic involves math. Athena says no, magic doesn't follow math rules. Another student asks if adding or subtracting helps make fireballs, saying their master is a firewall expert. He doubts modern knowledge can make him a top magician fast. A master steps in and tells Athena she got it wrong. Magic does use math. The heroes are shocked. Using Athena's fireball example, he explains math boosts efficiency. Another master demos an air magic ball, saying not to waste mental energy in battle. He stresses angles, wind direction, and speed for fireball accuracy. A loud bang in the air proves his point, and the student's thrilled. The master says practical battle magic will help Athena too, who's eager to learn. Heroes trained under these masters, picking up magic fast. That math twist was cool. Would you want to calculate your spells? Suddenly, a storm hits. In a room, two fairies are talking. One is wounded, getting treated by her partner. The wounded one, Espresso, the fairy princess, her maid. Her partner apologizes, saying the medicine only eases pain, and only a rare spirit miracle could heal her, but no spirit would help an ordinary fairy. Espresso prepares to leave, saying they'll catch the culprits or her partner can relax. She suspects Chief Crimson is behind it, but thinks villagers might be involved. She cries, vowing to report the village to the kingdom. A knock at the door interrupts, and another fairy enters, saying the village soldiers lost the culprit. Espresso's mad, saying human issues aren't their problem, and that the man, King Hansu, saved them from Crimson.
She insists he's got the princess's dagger and is tricking them, calling humans untrustworthy animals. The other fairy quietly says Kang did save them. Espresso tells her to shut up, saying it's just animals fighting animals. Celeblis, a royal fairy named Sun in the old tongue, enters, looking ill. Despite her royal heritage, her long life made her Crimson's prized captive, locked in a basement. She cries, saying Kang could have fled but freed her. Espresso says he's tied to her long life. Celeblis asks if she knows their savior uses dark magic packs. Kang, elsewhere, vows to repay Mahid's opposition in kind. Espresso recalls carefree palace days, now a distant memory, and cries. Celeblis urges her to find Kang, but another fairy warns it's dangerous in her state. Celeblis leaves, and a spirit eavesdrops, then slips away to find Kang in the forest. Kang's tense after his cliff jump, and the spirit approaches. That fairy drama's juicy. Whose side are you on, Kang or Espresso? At the temple, Prince Alcis surprises the swordsmanship hopefuls with a tea break in the banquet hall. The knights cheer wildly, freaking out the heroes. Alcis announces a demo to boost their understanding, challenging a commander to a spar. He starts with basic sword fighting, telling the commander to show off. They duel
duel, Alsus attacking fast while the commander retreats. The heroes are impressed. Alsus praises the commander but says he'll now show real swordsmanship. Their swords glow with energy, and in the second duel, a bright light bursts out. The commander's sword breaks and he loses. Alsus explains sword fighting cuts through defenses in one blow, warning that mimicking won't even beat the Iron Cavalry, let alone the Demon Lord. A hero says fencing seems about outmatching skills. Alsus agrees, starting their training. He tells them to sip the tea, a potion to safely gain the warrior's blessing for fencing. They drink, but hate the taste. Alsus says they'll get used to it. That swordplay was epic. Would you train under Alsus? Heroes are sipping that nasty warrior's blessing tea. Choi Kang-min chugs his and boldly asks for another cup. Prince Alsus tells him to chill with some snacks first, asking the commander to pour Choi another glass. Gotta say, Choi's eagerness is giving main character energy. Dude's ready to power up. Would you down that gross tea for a blessing? Meanwhile, Kang's chilling in a tree with the spirit, catching his breath after that cliff jump. He's relieved there were no taps to mess him up this time, and the forest below softened the fall. He figures the soldiers chasing him were from the village, and if that bribed guard hadn't opened the gate, he'd be toast. Suddenly, some taps spot him, but they're weirdly friendly, greeting him like old pals. Kang finds it odd that he trusts these monsters more than humans or fairies. He jumps down and takes them out with one hit. 3 taps, no sweat. He tells the spirit his body's feeling sharper than ever, curious about what's up. Checking his status window, he sees nothing has changed, but notices a profit stat at 3.43. He asks the spirit what it means, and it smirks, saying more is better. Kang's thrown. This is the first time the spirit's dropped something useful. While he's processing, 1 tap's still kicking. Kang approaches, saying he's got questions. He admits he's pissed at the fairies, and the tap's thrilled, saying it wants to eat them. Kang realizes the tap's swordsmanship, tied to the power of meat, is his ticket to getting stronger. He knows he's too weak to take on the spirit for revenge, even at level 2, so he decides to mimic the tap's fencing style, like Chief Crimson suggested. He asks the tap about this meat power, noticing its red eyes. Kang's curious to see it in action, thinking tap's swordplay comes from eating meat, but he needs more info. He plans to study their environment to make his revenge easier. This meat power sounds sketchy. Would you mess with it or stick to regular training? Back at the temple, Prince Alsus tells the heroes magic needs talent, but anyone with time and money can learn fencing. He urges them to pick up the pace. Choi asks for another cup of that potion tea, but Alsus shuts him down, saying too much reduces efficiency. Choi's desperate to get stronger, thinking he's different from the others. Alsus advises him to rinse his mouth with honey tea and stick to 1 or 2 cups daily. Greed could backfire. Choi agrees 2 cups will do him good. Alsus explains the warrior's blessing takes time to settle, like a kid doesn't grow overnight. Choi's shocked, but suddenly notices a new grit blessing, making him stronger the longer he fights, resetting if he loses or breaks. He's stoked, and Alsus congratulates him, saying he's got high hopes now that Choi's got the battle spirit's blessing. Choi's beaming, loving the praise.
Alsus then teaches the heroes how to hide their status windows. Sneaky move. Choi's climbing the ranks fast. Think you'll outshine everyone? In the forest, Kang's watching a tap named Fang devour its prey. He's been observing taps for days to crack the meat power mystery. Fang spots him and charges. Kang dodges, noting taps always try to hunt him. After beating Fang, he feels weak. Checking Fang's status window, level 6. Kang asks if Fang's really level 6, and Fang flexes, proudly saying fairy meat's the key. Kang gets that Fang believes eating fairies boosts power. He asks why Fang's still weak after 2 fairies. And Fang, bummed, insists he's strong. Kang punches him again, learning more about tap quirks. Fang points to the fairy village where Kang was trapped, confirming Crimson's claims weren't all lies. On the move, Kang catches and eats a rabbit, noticing Fang's body changes and strength spikes with each meal. Kang thinks this is simpler than Crimson's black magic life-stealing, even if it's less intense. He asks Fang if he's satisfied post-rabbit, but Fang growls, eyes red, craving more meat. Fang attacks, and Kang, with full force, slices him in half. Confident, Kang thanks Fang's remains, but Fang whispers that Kang's a tap too. Kang denies it, insisting he's human, but his hands glow red, his body feels different. He realizes intense emotion and meat greed trigger this chemical reaction. The spirit, shocked, confirms it's the power of meat. Kang suspects anyone could tap into it and asks if he died without the outsider blessing. The spirit explains the blessing resets after meals, creating an infinite renewal loop. Kang's tapping into some dark stuff here. Would you eat to power up like that? That night, Kang and the spirit roam the forest. A tap smells meat nearby, but Kang appears, punching it out in one hit. The spirit's amazed at his strength. Kang charges forward, unhappy despite his power boost. The spirit points to the fairy village, and Kang smiles, vowing to punish those wishful fairies with his new power. Guards are posted outside, so sneaking through a back tunnel's out. Security's tight. Kang's glad he memorized the village's layout early. The spirit urges him to act fast, and Kang wonders why it's suddenly helpful, but trusts his gut. He scales the village wall with his dagger dagger, relieved no one's watching. A guard appears, and Kang grabs him from behind, dagger to neck, killing him and hiding the body. He muses that these guards have families who will mourn, but so does he. He's done letting them control him. The spirit taunts his slow thinking, and Kang snaps back. He hears voices. Humans have caught fairies. He finds it interesting. Espresso has been kidnapped, dragged to a basement. She overhears a woman, the healer from earlier, saying Crimson thought he didn't know his actions, but she ignored him to save her new life. Espresso realizes it's her voice. The healer tells the fairies this is their punishment for letting their friend fight alone. A boy mentions hearing in the cafeteria that fairies hate humans. A bald man says something's gone down in the village, and a blue-haired woman orders her crew to attack, wielding daggers in Crimson's name. The bald man kills Espresso, then the fairies, leaving only Celebolus tied up. Celebolus warns that killing her fulfills their goal but hides their secret, fueling her anger. The boy suggests sparing her if she keeps quiet, but Celebolus scoffs, saying she can't trust a deal built on threats. The blue-haired woman says they'll let her live even if she lies. Celebolus mocks their desperation. Frustrated, they decide to kill her painlessly. Kang bursts in, killing the man about to strike Celebolus. She's shocked to see him. Kang says they've met again, but first handles the remaining enemies, taking them out swiftly. He wonders if they're fairies, villagers, or Crimson's crew, set to ruin him from the start. A scared girl begs to be spared, but Kang, understanding her language, says it's bad luck and kills her. The blue-haired woman flees, but Kang's dagger nails her. He's glad he took out the strong guy first. Celebolus says something, but Kang doesn't get it. Checking her status window, he's stunned. She's level 12 with 3 high-rank blessings, 1 boosting tamed animals abilities. Kang thinks it's useless without animals and suspects she showed her status deliberately. He says her name, and she smiles. Kang feels nothing, maybe due to his outsider blessing. The spirit's mad, and Kang admits he knows punishment means losing his outsider status. Celebolus seems surprised. Kang hesitates. He planned to kill all fairies, but sees her as a fellow survivor. He frees her, telling her to handle the rest. Celebolus rushes him, grabbing his arm, saying his name. Kang is shocked. They walk the village streets, and Kang notes the eerie silence despite the deaths. He asks the spirit why, but it's in a mood, refusing to answer.
Kang considers ditching Celebolus to calm the spirit, but decides the village is too untrustworthy. He's out. Grabbing Celebolus, he runs. She tries to speak, raising her hand, and a phoenix swoops in. Celebolus greets it, asking Kang to let her go. He does, and she chats with the phoenix like they're buddies, thanks to her Kamer blessing. She kisses Kang, and the spirit's pissed. Kang, confused, asks what's up. The phoenix circles them, and Celebolus, now on its back, says something and flies off. The spirit yanks its hair in frustration. Kang says the spirit's overreacting. Celebolus repaid his kindness with a weird move. A status window pops up, and Kang's shocked. He's got a high-rank fairy blessing, boosting vitality and youth. He compares it to the outsider blessing, realizing together they'd supercharge the meat power's vitality burn. The spirit notes his unusual happiness, and Kang says he's just glad to part ways with a fairy. The spirit chills out. Later in the forest, Kang tells the spirit they should push deeper. That kiss twist was wild. Thinks Celebolus his friend or foe? At the temple, Prince Alcus and Princess Athena gather the heroes, noting it's been 3 days since their arrival. Alcus says meditation and hunting will level them up, assuring them night monsters will bring easy prey. Athena adds that blessings are key for mages, and higher ranks and prey levels boost abilities. The heroes are pumped to hunt. A hero spots a slime, and the group gears up, but Athena and Alcus stop them, explaining slimes don't harm humans. They clean up filth, bugs, and carcasses, reducing disease. Athena holds a slime, banning attacks on them as it'd be betrayal. The heroes apologize. Alcus says level 2 taps are ideal for their first hunt, but today's target is a level 4 tap. The girls freak out, but Athena says a spirit can revive them if they die. Alcus backs her, saying their group could handle level 6 orcs. The hunt kicks off, and the heroes are shocked by the taps. Choi's thrilled, attacking a tap but missing, getting his eye injured. The taps overwhelm the heroes and their spells fail. As the taps counterattack, Alcus swoops in, slicing one to bits and saving everyone. All the heroes are banged up. Saint thanks Alcus for guiding them, sitting by a wounded hero and saying there's a reason they were chosen. Using her powers, she heals them, calmly promising to revive them if they die. The heroes bounce back, hunting again. Choi, with his group, uses his grit blessing and nails a tap, reaching level 2. He earns command and acceleration blessings. Acceleration for quick moves and clutch moments, command for boosting his group's abilities. His team celebrates, but he sees a tap attack Jangmian. Her team takes it out, and she hits level 2, earning a Color of Beauty blessing, freeing her from physical chores. Jangmian calls Beauty a weapon, thanking her team. Choi thinks she's clever. He offers help to other girls who are jealous of Youngmin. The spirits watch closely. Ubora, fighting a tap alone, struggles, but uses a fireball to win, hitting level 2. She earns a weapon blessing, making her body a powerful tool. Her wooden sword's stronger now, and she kills another tap, reaching level 3. Ubora is ecstatic, proud of her solo grind. Choi's annoyed. Some guys are fighting taps to impress Jongmyeon. Alcus and Athena watch the hero's progress. Meanwhile, Kang's killed tons of taps. The spirit asks if he knows how many, and Kang, without checking, guesses around 1,000. Checking his status window, he's disappointed. No level up. Kang's on a rampage, but no progress. What's holding him back? We're back with Kang in the forest, fresh off his tap-killing spree, but his status window's got bad news. Despite checking mid-fight, he sees a new curse, Slaughter Curse, making friendly races fear and despise him. His level's still stuck, and he's pissed. The spirit's restless too, but Kang brushes it off, saying it doesn't matter. He knows the evil spirit's curse makes leveling tough, but he didn't expect it to be this bad. Glancing at the spirit staring at the stars, he wonders why it's suddenly so chill. Kang muses that the Slaughter Curse forces him to stay an outsider, isolating him even more. The spirit tries to boost his morale, but Kang spots a tap wearing a fancy bracelet and snatches it. He's stealing their loot, convinced it's originally human or fairy property. With no level ups, he figures money's his only path to power. Suddenly, a gang of taps charges in, led by one named Hook, level 6, with a knack for making fairies cry. Kang sees they've eaten a ton of meat, boosting their strength, and knows numbers alone won't cut it. He leaps into battle, unleashing his meat energy, calling himself a fool for letting these teachers come to him. The taps are shocked by his jump. He takes one out, thanking them for teaching him to tap into his powers naturally. He admits no amount of prep is ever enough.
After a fierce fight, he wipes them out, now loaded with gold. But he worries about language barriers with merchants. If he can't sell this loot right, it's just shiny rocks. He needs a translator he can trust, knowing lies are useless. Kang's turning into a one-man looting machine. Would you risk stealing from taps like that? Out of nowhere, a guy with devilish horns shows up, asking who took out all these taps. Kang's stunned but grabs him, thrilled to meet someone who speaks his language. He asks the guy's name, unsure what kind of tap he is, but suggests they could be friends. The guy corrects him, saying he's a devil, not a tap. Kang's mind races. Spirits warn that heroes are here to beat the noble demon lord, so devils must be crazy strong. The devil snaps, saying it's laughable to hit a nerve and claim friendship in one breath, and not all devils are powerful. Kang apologizes, admitting he's weak. The devil, tearing up, calls Kang unusually strong for a level 1. Kang credits his blessings, but the devil's not buying it, saying he's not dumb. Kang's got more curses than blessings. Kang's shocked. The devil reveals he's got an observation blessing in one eye, plus another gift to see other status windows. The spirit's watching this whole exchange. The devil calls Kang a dark table, saying only a fool couldn't learn dark magic with his setup. He's training for marriage, far from home, and tells Kang not to act like a lesser human. He's past marriage age, even before birth. The spirit nudges Kang to dig into the devil's story. Kang asks why he's not married yet, and the devil grabs his throat, annoyed, explaining stronger devils get more partners. He fled to avoid being the 243rd husband of an old devil. Kang pities him, and the devil asks how he's moving after a massive paralysis potion dose, which even fairies resist. Kang recalls Chief Crimson's poison, saying it reminds him of that jerk. The devil tries to bind him with magic, but Kang slips free. Kang asks if he's tied to Crimson, describing the tap-headed chief. He knows him, saying Crimson's a dying human with a tearjerker story, saved from the fairy curse. Kang accuses him of helping that dirty chief. This devil's shady. Think Kang can trust him? Back at the temple, Saint tells the students the other heroes ditched training for the temple, so the focus is on the remaining crew. Prince Alice says hitting level 3 in a day is unreal progress, calling them unique. A knight rushes in, reporting a level 5 tap sighting. Saint tells Alice it's a rare chance for the level 3 heroes to fight it. They head out with Alice, reaching the tap's turf. Alice whispers to stay quiet. This tap's special, super aggressive, even against strong foes. Princess Athena adds that full taps can use dark magic, signaled by glowing red eyes. The tap spots them, and Alice orders the heroes to hang back. Choi reassures his team, using his command blessing, saying this tap's bigger but slower. Mid-speech, the tap sneaks behind him, and an explosion rocks the group. The tap's way stronger than expected, beating them one by one. Ubora swings with magic in her sword, but the tap tosses her aside. Terrified, she prays for help, but her weapon blessing, effective on 4 taps, keeps this one from attacking. It smiles at her. Alice swoops in, killing it. Jangmi is rattled, and Alice suspects the heroes might have a spirit blessing after facing such a tough foe. That tap fight was brutal. Would you face a level 5 monster at level 3? In the forest, the devil panting asks Kang how he twists like a twig. Kang says he's got a favor to ask and doesn't want to die. The devil's annoyed, feeling like Kang's scolding him for helping Crimson and nearly getting killed pointlessly. Kang asks if he wants a beating or to help. The devil says it's a big ask, but points out the nearest town's got a dangerous spirit. He can't die without marrying, and offers to guide Kang to another town. Kang agrees, not keen on a spirit-infested city. The devil warns that knights have blocked forest entries for 2 days, checking identities. Risky for a devil. Kang figures it's fine, annoyed by his language barrier and the spirit's laughter. The devil's deal sounds sketchy. Think Kang's walking into a trap? Meanwhile, Hanwoo's trekking through the woods with
with a mercenary guild girl who teases him, calling him the least helpful villager she's ever seen, mocking his outhouse ignorance. Hanwoo thinks to himself that novels and comics skip bathroom details. He holds back a retort since she paid for his armor and weapon. She catches him staring and snaps. Hanwoo nervously says it's a misunderstanding. He just likes following people. He thinks helping a beautiful girl like her is thanks to his chosen one blessing, but she calls him an idiot, recalling his slime attack. She warns they're entering orc territory, way deadlier than taps, and suggests he sticks to village tasks. Hanwoo nods, feeling proud.
While other green heroes grow slowly, he's out here earning spirit blessings. The girl finds his self-satisfied smile creepy, explaining Nal territory's tricky for a slime rank soiler, the lowest rank. Hanwoo gets a bonus EXP blessing, knowing it comes with risks, but feeling unstoppable as a main character. They reach a spot, and Hanwoo asks if it's the right place. No taps in sight. She thinks something's off with the forest, and Hanwoo jokes that extraordinary stuff follows him. She doesn't get it, calling it a tough situation. Checking her map, she expected 5 low-level taps. She suggests going deeper, but warns it's not easy, urging a return for intel. Hanwoo confidently tells her to trust him. Suspicious, she asks why he's so cocky. A tap attacks, and Hanwoo dodges, shocked by its speed. The girl charges, yelling at Hanwoo to cover her. She swings her sword, but the tap's steel armor holds. She suspects it's a named monster. Checking on Hanwoo, she preps for round 2. The tap looms, and she tells Hanwoo to draw his sword, warning that named monsters are tough. Hanwoo admits it's scarier than he thought. 2 more taps appear, and she orders Hanwoo to run while she distracts them. He refuses, joking about dropping his axe. She snaps there's no time for jokes. A tap hurls a stone, knocking Hanwoo out with blood gushing from his mouth. When he wakes, the girl's bandaging her injured hand, saying she handled the taps. Hanwoo, shocked, asks if her injury's his fault. She says it's her mistake and not to blame himself. Hanwoo is guilty and angry, scouring his status window for a fix. She tries calming him, but a spirit's notification mocks his pain. Hanwoo yells at it to stop laughing. It's not funny. The spirit curses him for his outburst, blinding him to things without physical barriers. Hanwoo tries checking his status window but can't see it. Realizing the curse's weight, he's crushed. The girl asks if he's okay, but he can't see her clearly anymore. She warns of a bad omen in the forest, saying he's in danger from taps or worse. Hanwoo vows to take responsibility, promising to heal her hand as a legendary hero. Poor Hanwoo's cursed now. Think he can bounce back? Elsewhere, Kang's with the devil, who introduces himself as Kagamos, the 14th child of the 348th Demon King's 33rd wife. He explains humans value royalty, but devils respect power, so titles mean little. Kang teases him, saying he's got nothing to cry about, but feels bad and asks about his nickname. Kagamos says Mas came from an old friend, now the 425th 7th Demon King's wife, regretting not congratulating her first kid. Kang pities Kagamos' marriage obsession, but it's not like his own kidnapping to a fantasy world drama. The spirit watching tells Kang to ditch the forest. It's bored. Kang notices it acts different around devils than fairies or humans. Kagamos spots footprints, saying they're at the edge of the forest near the Night Kingdom, where swordsmen rule and orcs roam. Kang's hyped, wondering if orcs have strong warriors. Kagamos warns they're leagues above taps. On a cliff overlooking orc territory, Kagamos points them out. Kang thinks they look basic, but an orc sniffs a human nearby, announcing a male's close. Kagamos blames Kang's glowing red eyes. Kang, annoyed, says he can hide them, but forgot. Kagamos scolds him. His looted well stench draws orcs. Kang jumps off the cliff, landing in front of them, greeting casually. The orcs mock him, demanding his stuff. Kang corrects them, saying he's a human, but thinks they're dumber than taps despite better speech. With no negotiation possible, he decides to fight. Kagamos warned orcs excel at teamwork, circling prey, but Kang provokes them, asking why he'd give up his stuff. He stabs an orc's head before they reply. The others are stunned, and Kang, grinning, knows his outsider blessings got this. He taunts, saying he'll pick which pig they're related to, and wipes them out. With 2 left, he tells Kagamos he expected orcs to be tougher. Kagamos calls Kang the weird one. Kang finishes the last orc, saying it was easier than he expected. He asks Kagamos to help if he's tagging along, but notices something's off. Kagamos points to a trembling sky, a giant dragon with a spirit aboard. Kagamos begs Kang to carry him, annoying Kang, who grumbles he never even carried his parents, yet here he is piggybacking a devil. The spirit mocks Kang, suggesting he feed Kagamos to the orcs. Kagamos snaps that that if anyone knew a human helped him, his marriage odds would tank. Kang threatens to spread that rumor, grinning. Kagamos, shocked, asks if Kang is just a human. Kang says he's a hero. Kagamos reveals the hero curse, often given to devils who lose to heroes, makes leveling nearly impossible, turning them into living corpses. Kang is stunned, asking if power is even possible with so many curses. Kagamos wonders how Kang's so strong despite his size, suspecting the outsider blessing has hidden effects.
Peeking at Kang's status window, Kagamos explains the outsider title resets all progress, erasing needs like eating, sleeping, or healing. Wounds vanish. He calls it a cheat, but Kang bitterly labels it a curse, as no experience sticks. Kagamos asks how he'll get strong with such limits. Kang vows to find a way. That dragon's a game changer. Think Kang can handle it? Back at the temple, a hero's raging about losing battles, fed up with their slow progress. The grind's real. Would you keep pushing or lose it like this guy? We're back at the temple, where a frustrated hero's ranting about losing battles, but Choi King-min calms him down, reminding him he's not the only one struggling. Prince Alsis strides in, hyping up the group, saying they're leveling up fast at level 4. Still, he's worried the lack of enemies might slow their progress. The commander drops a bombshell. The Tap territory's been wrecked, and at first they thought it was a skilled soldier squad, but the identical sort techniques on the bodies point to a single night order. Alsis orders the intelligence guild to investigate and preps the heroes to hunt orcs. The commander is shocked, but agrees heroes need to toughen up. That night order twist is wild. Who's this mystery swordsman? Any guesses? Meanwhile, Han Wu has reached the city's edge, carrying the injured Arya on his back, shouting for help. Prince Alsis is stunned to see him. Hanwha demands a test, yelling that he heard Arya return to the temple. His companions are just as shocked. Alsis promises to handle it with manners, and Hanwha apologizes, explaining Arya's life is in danger because of him. Princess Athena arrives, floored to see Arya, hinting they know each other. Arya says she's just a regular soldier now. Hanwha urges Athena to take her to the saint. Saint storms in, annoyed at the noise, asking what's going on. Alsis explains hero Hanwu's back. Hanwha tries to make a request, but a guard cuts him off. The saint checks his status window, noting he's level 1 with a curse, yet still recruited great companions. Then she sees Arya's window, level 12 with a B-rank noble blessing, possibly a duke's daughter if not Marcus-born. Saint calls Arya impressive. Hanwha insists Arya saved his life and deserves help. Saint tells him to look around. Heroes above level 30 would sacrifice themselves for humanity. How's Arya better? Hanwha is stunned, saying her potential makes her stand out. Saint muses that in a few years, Arya might be a stunning woman. Hanwha clarifies he means her talent. The spirit points out his level 1 stagnation while teammates hit level 6 in 5 days. Hanwha is embarrassed, feeling mocked. He begs Saint to heal Arya's hand, calling her a special partner. Saint refuses, saying he must prove his worth first and pay his debts. Sitting before him, she accuses him of taking Saint miracles lightly. Hanwha denies it. She shares her latest miracles cost: 15 spirit swords, 200 old moonlight tree bows, 600 cut unicorns, 15 phoenix feathers, and 40 other items to heal Celibus. The heroes are awed. She asks if Hanwha can match that. He says to see it as an investment. He'll get stronger. She tells him to talk when he's powerful, and Hanwha was crushed, hearing teammates badmouth him. Ubora steps up, suggesting the saint is being too harsh. She asks if the sword could make Arya her partner. Saint Ubora's potential, separated from others for a reason, and agrees if a great hero like Ubora wants it, it's done. Saint heals Arya's hand, declaring her Ubora's sword and shield until death. Arya, tearful, is shocked her hand is back. Saint orders her to join Ubora. She tells Alsis they've wasted enough time on this and to finish their plans. Everyone leaves, but Hanwha is devastated. Athena approaches, saying he wasn't wrong despite the rejection and thanking him for saving her childhood friend. She gives him a token. A magic formation forms, making him her second disciple with a magic blessing. Han was floored, joking that Athena must have a crush on him. He stands, shouting to start again. Hanwha's got a second chance. Think he'll prove the spirit wrong? In the forest, Kang is battling orcs, who try fleeing but get cut down one by one. He muses, it's just another day, another fight. Unlike Taps, these orcs don't call for backup, but the open terrain leaves no hiding spots. He notes even their animals won't eat his food. Approaching Kagamos, Kang sees his horns are gone and asks if it's magic. Kagama says it's a simple disguise for the city. Kang wonders why he didn't do it earlier. Kagamas explains obstacles blocked them, and it's weird Kang is alive despite half his body being torn off. Kagamas finds Kang brighter than Taps, expecting a quick trip to the second closest city. Suddenly, orcs attack a convoy. Kang watches as orcs overpower humans. Guards protect something, and an orc speculates it's a woman. Two women emerge, ready to fight.
The orc leader offers to let them go, but they seem eager to die. One unleashes fireballs, the other uses water-powered sword skills, causing a bang. Kang's shocked, asking Kagamos if it's magic. Kagamos downplays it. Kang's annoyed, saying Kagamos doesn't like it. Kagamos asks if he's naive to think innocent humans survived. King regrets missing a revenge shot, but sees these women as this world's elite. He bets building ties with them will ease his life. The women keep fighting, but Kang breath and yells about a lovely woman pig. Kagamos is stunned, and Kang realizes his hero curse makes humans miss his taunts, but orcs get it. The women are shocked as orcs close in. Kagamos thinks Kang used his curse to summon them. Kang decides it's time to help, despite Kagamos saying it's off plan. Kang says plans change. He jumps in, surprising the orcs. The leader questions why he's here, and Kang calls himself a passing outsider. An orc swings a sword, but Kang dodges, shoving his fingers up another's nose and tossing it. Everyone's stunned. Kang finds it fun but gross. The orcs attack together, but Kang dodges, now reading their moves. A red-horned orc hits him repeatedly, and Kagamos angrily asks why Kang ditched his safety. Kang slices off the orc's hand, shocking the women. He asks Kagamos what he's on about, noticing the orc's red hue links it to taps. Kang regrets killing it, could have studied it more. The guards thank him, and Kang, understanding a few words, smiles, thinking his language studies are paying off. The spirit's not thrilled with his antics. Some orcs think Kang's tired and attack, but he throws the red-horned orc's hand, shocking them. He asks which orcs are red, and one demands how he speaks their language. Kang's eyes glow red, saying to forget it if they can't. Kagamos checks on Kang, who points to the stunned guards and women, admitting he used tap power. He tells Kagamos to handle it. Kagamos introduces himself, saying he understands them, but Kang doesn't speak the common Western tongue. A girl's shocked about Kang, and Kagamos sees her status, and C-rank fairy blessing. He calls it a faith symbol, noting most fairy married folks are C-rank. Kang snaps that the fairy's snatch comment caused this mess, blaming the spirit. The girl apologizes for doubting her savior, and Kang smiles, thinking he's got a translator and local trust. The spirit's annoyed, but Kang tells it to chill. He'll spill its secret. That night, Kang's by a fire, and the spirit says immorality's no sin. Kang blames its blessing, guessing it's happy he's not upset. He sees the upside, normalizing everything, but it's a curse too, as he's done nothing big in ages. A woman, Julia, a noble from a fantasy academy, calls his name. Kang notes her distance and wonders if she's hinting he should leave. She stares, showing her dagger, and Kang thinks she's flexing her powers. He shows his tap-powered hand, but she's unfazed, repeating something worriedly. Kang wonders if she's mad about his smaller dagger, then she leaves. He sighs, saying women's hearts are hard to read. The spirit laughs, saying a nobody like him doesn't need to know. Kang's winning allies, but that spirit's shady. Think it's hiding something big? At the temple, a guard stops Hanwoo, but he insists he's a hero. The table master calls him a failed hero for ditching the temple and losing support. Han was crushed. The master offers 3 options: take an independence fund and face death if he break the rule, return to training with candidate-level support, risking mockery, or give his body to the temple, handling marriage to retirement, but never leaving. Hanwoo picks the first option, refusing a tied-down life. The master hands him a contract explaining it protects the temple's rep. Hanwoo questions the need, but signs, receiving funds and a title to replace his hero status. He's thrilled, joking it's different from naval. The master is confused, but Hanwoo brushes it off as self-talk. He muses that fantasy novels paint temple leavers as evil, asking if he can use the funds freely. The master agrees. Hanwoo dreams of meeting a noble girl, but chooses a true hero's path, heading to the slave market. An assistant tells the saint Hanwoo's quit, worrying about dwindling hero numbers with only 2 spirits. When real battles hit, they'll be stretched thin. Saint asks about the fairy kingdom, learning taps are down due to a mysterious Night Order's swordsmanship. The assistant suggests a demon king, but the saint shuts it down, saying it's too early to assume. She orders an investigation, noting demon kings are mostly east or central, not hidden. A table master reports the academy wants heroes for a school break feast. Saint's puzzled. How'd they know? A student saw a hero's status window in a mercenary gang. She sighs, regretting letting him go solo, thinking he'd return tired. Heroes are humanity's hope, but fragile.
She sees the feast as a chance for heroes to find teachers or partners approving it. A knight reports finding a hero's bag, shocking Saint Hanwoo's out, and the saint's stressed. Think he made the right call? Kang and Kagamos reach a city by cart, joined by soldier girls. A guard asks how Kang's so strong at level 1 in his training method. Kang smiles, saying it's a rude way to chat. Kagamos offers to translate that Kang's unhappy with their greed, but Kang stops him. Kagamos says it's already rude to ask about training, as soldiers shamelessly prize strong bodies. Kang's fine with it, but Kagamos warns against twisting words. Lies don't always work. Kang sees a status window, realizing the experience penalty only blocks hunting and achievement XP, not other methods. He asks Kagamos how to become a soldier, seeing a path to power. They arrive, but Kang's excitement fades, smelling a rotten stench at the city gate. That stench is ominous. Kang's wrinkling his nose at that gross stench. Kagamos chuckles, explaining it's just a bunch of travelers piling up, unwashed from their long hauls. He roasts Kang, saying he's got no right to complain while reeking of orc blood. Kang's humiliated, snapping that Kagamos shouldn't sling insults so casually. Kagamos brushes it off, telling Kang to stop whining. Spotting the soldier girls they rolled with vanish into the city, Kang's curious, but Kagamos says soldiers chase their missions and stick to clear paths. Left solo, Kang grabs some fruit, munching happily until Kagamos mocks his hunger. Annoyed, Kang remembers the women waiting. One thanks him for saving her life, offering to let him crash with them. Kang's in, but Kagamos looks unthrilled. Kang presses about the Soldier Guild, and Kagamos insists he clean up first or get booted. Kang gets scrubbed by a trendy slime, a dirt-chomping, natural washing machine. He's hooked, playing with it, but Kagamos warns it's pricey, worth its weight in gold, so don't steal one. Kang gripes about no nice clothes, but Kagamos, prepared, hands him new ones. Kang's pinced, stepping out feeling like a dork. Meanwhile, Kagamos charms the ladies, making Kang jealous. He mutters, hoping Kagamos doesn't catch too much flack. The women approach, stunning everyone. One apologizes for being late, but Kagamos covers, saying they just arrived. Kang's fuming, but asks for a tasty food spot. Kagamos agrees, leading to a restaurant. Julia says something, and Kagamos translates. She's fine with Kang's pick. This throws Kagamos, who's annoyed. Kang smirks, telling him to say he's hungry too. Kang's city life is awkward. Think he'll adjust or bail? Across town, Hanwoo's a slave market, blown away by its smooth operation. He eyes a buff male slave thinking he's perfect, but keeps browsing. A voice calls him no good, and Hanwoo spots a fellow ex-hero from training, shocked and hyped to see him with a scary guy. The boy explains he ditched training too, snagging independence funds like Hanwoo. Hanwoo nervously begs secrecy. The boy laughs, assuring no worries, and pitches teaming up since they're in the same boat. He points to a premium slave dealer, saying if he knows Hanwoo is a hero, he'll show elite options. Hanwoo is stunned, but listens as the boy argues checking statuses doesn't break contracts. The boy asks Hanwoo's pick, but Hanwoo clams up, suspicious of the friendliness. They barely talked before. Leaving, the boy calls out, inviting Hanwoo to the Eastern Gate to see his slave. Hanwoo agrees, but stays wary, thinking it's odd. He approaches the dealer, hinting at a strong female warrior. The dealer reads the status, sees hero, and gets pumped, welcoming him. Asked for type, Hanwoo demands powerful. The dealer reveals Marasi, an ex-bandit betrayed, enslaved. Hanwoo's jaw drops. Marasi's status shows blessings despite slave curse, locking loyalty. Dealer says clear orders prevent betrayal, laughing off hesitation as hero perk. Hanwoo clarifies slim and strong, not scary like Marasi. Dealer lets him choose, saying blessings guide. He picks 3, Luza, level 6 redhead with jam blessing. Sarah, slim agile warrior. Kana, strong vibrant 1. Dealer burns old contracts, stressing clear orders to avoid mutiny. Hanwoo pays, thinking care and love ensure loyalty. He orders them to follow for weapon shopping, and they obey instantly. Hanwoo smiles, stoked with his team, think these slaves will be loyal or plot twists. Kang's at the Soldier Guild struggling. Food and visit went fine, but signature for registration? He never learned to write. Kagamo sees, saying it's common, handing a sample to copy. Kang grumpily tries for 10 minutes, nailing it proudly. Kagamos cracks up, mocking the struggle. Kang's shocked, but receptionist accepts, registering him.
Kang feels weird getting soldier blessing and D-rank first eval. Kagamos grins, saying thank the women vouching for his skills. Kang's embarrassed, refusing direct thanks. Kagamo scolds, joking he'll buy a kid's picture book for practice. A woman hands Kang a scroll. His first mission, orc suppression, reduce population, stop reproduction, rewarded by noses. Kang's thrilled, calling it perfect planning material. He thinks using the women as orc bait, unaware they're eyeing his scheming.
Spirit interrupts, asking if murder's on the brain.
Kang denies, smirking it's destruction this time. Kang's plotting dark. Think the women will catch on? The group's in an orc battle. Julia fights hard, but an orc grabs her face, slamming her. Injured but tough, she recovers with her partner's help, who tells her to duck as she fireballs the orc, engulfing it. Julia thanks her, but gets warned not to overdo. Tougher fights ahead. Julia shrugs, saying she's got this. A wounded orc rises, ready to strike, but another attacks it, both dropping. Lusa thinks Kang is uniquely ruthless, slicing orcs with tap daggers despite hero curse. Her fairy blessing proves he's no devil. Fleeing orcs try escaping, but Kang chases. Lucy yells to chill, and Kang stops, seeing her exhausted. He's amazed she nearly cleared the area's orcs sweat-free. Julia checks on Lusa, teasing her for needing a break. Lusa claps back, pointing at Julia's shaky legs, embarrassing her. Julia praises Kang's fantastic fencing, dangerous yet sustained. Lusa shocked, possible? Julia, ex-child genius, says Kang is beyond her. Kagamo suggests rest, giving Kang a picture book for language learning. The girls watch him read silently. Julia announces level 15, making Lusa jealous, the gap's growing. She muses the system favors strong, easing levels, while rank drop kill perks. Julia aims B rank. Lusa warns pressure, but Julia says Kang makes it doable. She notes he balances hunting and protecting. Lusa teases Julia's interest, despite no men stance. Julia insists studying moves for fencing mastery. Kang suddenly says move out, surprising the girls with his shift. They follow, and Lusa pegs Kang as plain yet mysterious magician scholar with untamed nature. She decides to teach him women talk. Kang's crews bonding, think he'll open up or stay lone wolf.
And that wraps up today's episode. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Your support really helps us grow. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, take care and stay tuned.